Hello, it's Kath Berry here, and I have the pleasure of joining with Sandro Grassa from acupunctureclinic.ie and famous for video blog or vlog, video blog, the modern version of
Mm.
video blogging. So what we're here today is to talk about why video is so important, where technology is going, where it's come from, and of course, Sandro, why you've chosen this medium to communicate to firstly the general public, and then obviously share with other practitioners as well. So tell me, what does video mean to you?
Well, to be honest, it's just mainly because of the connection. So, someone is watching the video, you're still trying to pass on the message, just like what you would do with a blog. But the idea came from one of the times going back and forth to the city centre here in Dublin, and the amount of people that were on their phones, but they weren't reading stuff. Because you would think that, someone is on their phone or their iPad, they're reading a book, but they were actually watching stuff. And I suppose, look, it's just a reflection of society. It's just so much easier. You can just sit there and just listen to something, like, for example, with the podcasts as well. So then the question was, okay, do we go towards the podcast? And that just becomes a little bit cold because you can't see the person. Or do you become a little bit more relatable and, you put your face out there and you're actually talking to the person. And at the same time, you're trying to pass on the message. So that's where the video came from. And I suppose it was kind of like a challenge as well. Let's see if I can do this.
Could
And
you help people watching today overcome some of those challenges? Some people go, oh well, that's for people like Sandro and Kath to do. That's not something I could do. What were the steps that you had to take in order to overcome some of those first hurdles,
I,
either the psychological or technical steps?
well, okay, well, with the technological side of things, I can understand it's going to be difficult for people, and having the right gear and try it, because I was going to go with the cliche of just try it, just do a few. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to publish them. Just do a few, just see how it comes out. Try. I know I was talking to someone recently, said, "Oh, practice in front of the mirror." It's not the same thing. Once you know that you've hit the record button and you know that you're going to have the chance to watch it again, it's different. It is so different for your psyche. You get to that nervous state, and that's fine. Keeps you focused and everything. So get a camera. It can even be the phone. That's fine. But just something that you can record and just practice. I know it sounds like the cliche. Just go out there and do it. As for the technological side of things, I can swear to you now, I had never ever used iMovie before. It was my first time. Just record something, and it's pretty much like any other document, anything else that you do on the internet. Just copy, paste, put it together, see can you add music. Obviously, I did loads of tutorials on YouTube, read about how to do this, and watch other people doing it, and then just try. But I can guarantee you that the first few ones did not go live.
Yeah, I think I'm famous. I'm famous for my outtakes as well. So, and I guess Sandra, one of the things I think, in order to motivate somebody watching who might be considering putting together video training or
Mm.
video information for their patients is, what's been the benefit for you? What have you found that you've learned in the process, or what's been valuable for you in being part of that?
Well, I'm going to be really, really honest, because this is a little bit like that too. I always find it's so unfair especially when I'm recording with the experts. So there's one part of the vlog that it's called the interviews with the experts. I just find that I could just be listening to them for hours, and I'm there like, this is great. I found a way that I can just sit here and listen to these people talking about stuff that I wish I'd known that. I I just want to going to the core of why doing the vlogs that way, and especially then even getting what it's called the interviews with the experts. I want to break down that idea that acupuncturists are against, one does one type of acupuncture, the other one does a different type, and Japanese acupuncture, master tone points, and we don't talk to each other. Yes, we do. We go to the conference, you go to the conference, we met before at conferences. We're not like that. Okay, look, it's generalizing, but I just wanted to see, can I challenge myself to put something out there and show to people that, no, we talk to each other, we can be like this. And if it's going to start with 1, 2, in a few months it's going to be 10, and like there's 160 something subscribers now, it's great. Let's bring more people in and let's show them we can sit down, we can talk about this. It's the internet, experts that are We might have someone who is in New Zealand and I'm in Ireland. We can still record. We can still go online and pass on the message. It doesn't have to be a book anymore. It doesn't even have to be a course. It can be 10 minutes, just like I do with the vlogs, and just hear what each other has to say and learn together and share the experiences.
And so what's the purpose? What's the goal? What's your higher vision, or in the driver in making sure this is obviously you're putting hours and hours of your time.
Mm,
It's unpaid. It's free on the internet. That
mm.
you're gifting this knowledge and this expertise to the community. What for?
I think motivation, a lot of the times as acupuncturists, we're quite isolated. Like if you think about it, we work in our clinics. I know, again, we go back to different parts of the world and they might work in the hospital or a bigger clinic, but generally speaking, we're quite alone. And especially at times I think about, especially those just coming out of college. What's going to happen now? What am I going to do? Who is going to be, don't want to use the cliche word mentor, but who am I going to be modeling my clinic, my practice on? That would be great if I can pass on that image that, look, just pick up the phone, go on the internet and just find someone, send an email. We are all normal people. We're all common people. One of the things that I noticed, for example, I don't know if it happened with you as well, but I used to go to conferences and for everyone there, it was like, oh no, I won't go and talk to them. Sure, why would they talk to me? But if we create that medium, or, oh, I've seen them on YouTube, I've seen them on camera, I know that they don't just talk acupuncture, they talk like normal people. Maybe it becomes a little bit more approachable. And if we include the public on that too, if the public is watching the videos and is learning from it as well, that would be the main thing for the public, is to learn from it. Who would you want your prospective patient to learn from? Someone giving out about acupuncture that, it doesn't work because I read something 10 years ago, or someone who's actually doing research and is publishing things and it's up there when it comes with expertise. That's the main goal, information. I think that information is power. For practitioners, in terms of doing more education and keep on learning and develop their practice, and for the public, learn as much from the experts as possible.
And in setting up the vlog, around acupuncture, has anything surprised you? Has there anything unexpected taken place, either positive or negative, or just something you wouldn't have anticipated when you first started?
Apart from how strange I look on camera, I the people saying yes. So I started with, I was very, very reluctant to put out on the very first or second vlog that I was going to attempt to have interviews with the experts and again, trying to get people in. And I thought, I'll do it because I know at least a handful of them, so I'll see. But within the first few months of doing 1, 2, and then actually getting the emails and being contacted and say, yeah, can we do one together? And I'm like, I didn't even ask you, this is great. And more so, the feedback from patients in the clinic. Like, it's amazing that I recorded, I don't know if it's out by now or not, but I recorded one recently because patients actually here in this clinic were talking about some of the interviews that were out that had nothing to do with the public whatsoever. And I was like, why did you watch it? And she was like, oh, it's really interesting. Like, you guys get great fun and you can talk about normal stuff. And I'm like, there you go.
Wow.
So that, yeah, people being open, people like, I don't know, Kath Berry contacting me to come on this as well. I don't know, surprise.
And I love the fact that you're out there, you're just doing it, and you have this passion for it. So I think, do you feel that there's is there room enough, for everybody to get involved? Would somebody watching this go, well, hang on, there's a flood of information. Why would I, in my private acupuncturist, wherever I am sitting in the world, want to go through the steps that you've gone through of getting a camera and recording yourself in all those hours? Do you think that there can be a almost a saturation of information about acupuncture out there?
I can see how some people would think that, but then think about it as your own development. Well, first of all, if you've never done anything to do with recording or with a camera, you're learning a new skill. That can't be bad. You're learning something new. If you're going to be talking about a particular topic, it's a little bit like having a new patient coming in, mentioning a condition that you've never seen before. And you're going to go and sit down and learn about it and read about it and probably record it 2 or 3 times, or if you're rushing like I do, like 4 or 5 and still not getting the right take on it. But you're learning. One quick example. One patient in the clinic kept on going on asking me, you should record something about prostatitis. And I was like, I don't really treat that in the clinic, and I don't know much about it. But if you, yeah, you asked, I'll try and do it. And I had to, I had to research a little bit about it. I had to ask a few people about it. I had to put it together. Ended up that I had way more information just for one. It ended up being two vlogs on that, and he loved it. And didn't mention his name. He knows who it is because people in, even with the PCOS series, that started about someone in the clinic as well, and it was like, why don't you do one on PCOS? I was like, yeah, why don't I? Because sure, I'm even doing it for the masters. Why not? Just put stuff together. As a professional development for the practitioner, you might think that, well, I'm not going to put this out there because someone else has already. But if you were to do that in terms of research, well, then research would never develop because someone did it already. I'm not going to do it again. We need to move on. And someone is going to do a much better job at it than I have ever done. But I'm learning. I'm learning all the time. So I'd say just go out and do it.
And one of the things I love about exactly your message is that the more people saying these positive messages out there, and the more eclectic that group is, that it's seeing the same message from the same type of person
Mm,
saying the same type of things is really dull. But hearing different people's perspectives and their own either personal journey with a condition or their experience with a particular expertise working with their patients, I think you're absolutely right that there's this.
mm,
I mean, the world to me seems like a lock and key, and that if the right person can watch the right video off the right practitioner, then you have this incredible capacity to change, influence and ultimately, benefit the world because people are open to ideas that they might not have been otherwise. So,
yeah.
this is why I'm so excited about video, and I'm really excited about what you're doing, because I
Mm,
think if more people can get involved and they're just being, as you say, credible information out there that's really engaging and approachable, I think there's
mm.
a huge opportunity.
And, and think about it. You don't need to necessarily be doing the same thing. You can watch the video and go, oh, I can add something to that, and then just build from that and just go, I'm going to approach this in a different way. Great, just go on and do it. It's fine.
Terrific. So, what's your parting message? So, somebody watching today who may or may not be interested in ever possibly developing one or two or 10 or a million video tutorials or vlogs, then what would be your message?
Well, I'll leave you with something then that I was thinking about it as you were talking there, and I said, well, at the very very start of the video, I had a few people together. It was like, just like what you're asking, what you want to do, and I said, well, if I ever, and I know she's going to kill me for saying this, but if I ever get Deborah Betts to come on one of the vlogs, I'll just do the interview with her and I'll just do the mic drop and just exit stage left, because that will be the ultimate. And actually, she was there. I was like, no, I'm never going to do it. No, hate cameras. No, 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 no. And it's watch this space, because that will happen soon. And the one thing that really really got me was the message that Deborah once said to me, because there was something going on and then talking about it on camera, and I said, well, I don't think I'm not the right person to talk about that, because I don't even have that much experience to go and talk about that. And I said, well, you should, because people will listen to you, like it's your name and people will listen to you, but they won't listen to me. And she said, well, Sandro, at one stage I was you. At one stage, we were all starting. We didn't just arrive to this point and, became the person that everyone turns into in that case when it comes to acupuncture for pregnancy. But it's a process. It's a build-up. And that really, really made me think that, and it kind of made me lose the fear about the vlogs a little bit, because it was like, you know what? So what if it's not perfect? I'm learning. Maybe it will never be perfect, but this will be an opportunity for me to look back in years to come and go back and see, oh, look at what I was doing there. I'm going to improve that as well. So the parting message, anyone watching this, practitioners thinking that, oh, I could never do that. It's like moving to a bigger clinic. I could never do that. We were all there. We all had to start somewhere. It doesn't matter if you're going to start small, if you're going to start big, just start. Put a plan together, stick to that plan, and hey, just go for it.
I love it. I love it. So thank you, Sandro Graca from acupunctureclinic.ie. And you'll find those videos all on YouTube as well as at that website address. So thank you again for your time and inspiration. And we're really excited to see what comes next from you.
Thank you for having me.